morning and welcome. We'll let Diane get together and we're going to start this meeting with the roll call.
Commissioner Ashworth?
Here.
Commissioner Banks?
Here.
Commissioner Hassler? Commissioner Thompson?
Here.
Commissioner Wiley?
Here.
Thank you very much. Lieutenant, would you be kind enough to lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely, sir. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I'm sure this is graceful.
I know.
Well, good morning and welcome to our March Madness meeting. Speaking of March Madness, for in our open discussion, I'd like to remind everybody that we have a huge basketball game coming up next Saturday, the 28th, where the county, our officers, are taking on the city. This is number 5. It's the rubber match. We're currently tied 2-2 with our colleagues in the city. So this is an important game. We're counting on our squad to bring home the trophy. So hopefully everybody can come out. It's a big community event, always free, plenty of free food. We even enhanced the food this year. So we'll have a lot of good food and T-shirts and giveaways, and everyone is welcome to see us win that game. At least that's what our coach Cavaletti has promised, a victory. So
You sound nervous. Are you recruiting? Is that what you're doing?
he is recruiting. He is recruiting. Okay. With that, we have some deputization, and I guess first up this morning from we have a member of being sworn into the airport police. Please step forward. Yeah, yes. It's okay. Good morning. How you doing? Okay, it's Bonnie, right? Is the last name? Right, okay. Just repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I, Jane Bonnie,
I, Jane Bonnie,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and a resident of the state of Missouri,
and a resident of the state of Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
and the charter and ordinances of St. Louis County,
and the charter and ordinances of St. Louis County,
that I will faithfully adhere to the regulations
that I will faithfully adhere to the regulations
provided in the rules and procedures
provided in the rules and procedures
for deputization
for deputization
as adopted by St. Louis County,
adopted by St. Louis County,
and that I will faithfully demean myself
and that I will faithfully demean myself
as a deputized officer
as a deputized officer
of the St. Louis County Police, so help me God.
of the St. Louis County Police, so help me God.
Thank you very much.
Great.
See? No, he didn't.
Opposite line, sorry. Yes, sir.
They didn't give me the sheet. She didn't give me the sheet. Diane didn't give me the sheet. Give me the one sheet. Okay. Chief, I think we have some service stars to give out. And Commissioner Wild, I remembered my glasses today, so you cannot make fun of me.
At least not on that.
Not on that, at least.
Find something.
We start with 30 years, Mr. James Speece. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. There's more to go.
You are. And
His son was a police officer that was dispatched for St. Louis City. He's doing well now and coming along with his rehab.
right.
He's got a long way to go.
Well, thank you.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. From the Division of Operational Support, Ms. Shua. Did I pronounce that correctly or close?
Yes.
All right. I should have mentioned 25 years. That's the important part. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. The 20 years from the Division of Criminal Investigation, Sergeant William Belcher. Congratulations. All right. Also from Division of Criminal Investigation, 20 years, Jessica Wilkin. This ain't how young you look. We're recruiting them younger and younger, aren't we, Chief?
Coming out of high school.
Right, getting them right out of high school. From the Division of Patrol, Police Officer Ashley Meyer.
Wow.
15 years. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And also from Division of Patrol, 15 years, Neil French. Congratulations. Okay, from a sticking with Division of Patrol, 10 years, Police Officer Heather Aris. Did I do that right? Congratulations, Steve. All right. 10 years in patrol, a Police Officer Graham Heidman. There you are. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. Another 10-year Division of Patrol, Police Officer Brett Berg. In the Division of Criminal Investigation, 10 years, Ms. Tina Wilson. Congratulations.
On both accounts.
Yeah, double congrats. And certainly not, last but not least, for 5 years, Division of Patrol, Bryce Ashford. All right, stick to it, man. I want to give you a 40-year. Okay, Chief, I think that's all the service stars that we have to give out, I think.
Good enough.
Okay, thank you.
I have some awards to present this morning. First up, Police Officer Clayton Burke. And Police Officer Davis Foreman. We're gonna take a picture.
Go read that to her.
Good morning. I tried to get one of these two to do this for me, but they didn't bite. We're recognizing Clayton Burke, Davis Foreman this morning for their actions on March 21st of this past year. On that date, they were investigating a tampering and a harassment, both felony charges, against a subject and responded to his house in the 1000 block of Hawkins Bend Drive. On arrival, they knocked at the front door. and the subject came to the door, and they addressed him. Officer Burke explained to him why they were there and that they needed him to step out of the house so that they could speak further. The subject continued to stand at the door, and he was then advised that he was under arrest. Officer Burke and his Officer Foreman both took hold of him, and he resisted them. As this resisting took place at the front door, it spilled into the front room of the house, where the officers now were struggling with him and trying to get him under control. They at one point were able to get him to the ground, and as he was going to the ground, he was able to get a hold of a concealed handgun. As they continued the struggle, Officer Foreman separated from the group, drew his taser, and deployed it, but this had no effect. Officer Burke continued to struggle with them, and the subject was starting to get the better of Officer Burke. So he disengaged, moved away from the subject, and both officers drew their handguns. As the subject stood, he turned toward both officers and they engaged him in gunfire and neutralized the threat. And if I could, from the citation, I'd like to read the last paragraph. It reads, the citation attests to your dedication to duty and to the citizens of St. Louis County. The bravery you displayed in an extremely dangerous situation reflects not only highly upon you, but on the entire St. Louis County Police Department. So again, please applause for these two officers.
Hey, guys, come on back over here for a second. You got anybody here with you this morning?
No, well, a department family member,
Your
Captain Kelly.
Captain Kelly, great. Okay. Bert, got anybody here with you?
Not today.
Okay. Right. We did a thorough investigation of that incident. You guys did a great job out there. Appreciate everything went the way that it did. So thank you for your hard work, man, and bravery.
Thank you, Chief.
Take care. Police Officer Abigail Rudolph.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, board members, Chief, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. I'd like to direct your attention to Officer Rudolph's actions in April of 2005 while working as a radio car in the city of Jennings. She responded to Christian Northeast in reference to a sexual assault case. When she got there, she discovered a 15-year-old victim had been the victim of a sexual assault at a residence in Jennings. She opted to keep the case instead of passing it on to crimes against persons. The sergeants allowed her to do that, and she did a outstanding investigation which identified the suspect, identified the residence it happened in. She wrote a residential search warrant that was executed and was very fruitful. It had evidence of the crime and a firearm that was there. The suspect responsible for this crime was a sex offender and not supposed to be in possession of a firearm. She presented the case to prosecuting attorney's office. They issued warrants for sexual assault with a $200,000 cash-only bond. And the case was also presented to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the felon in possession of firearm, which he was indicted on too. So her hard work and outstanding investigative skills put an individual behind bars for a long time who deserves it. So great job and congratulations on your well-deserved chief commendation.
Have you got anybody here with you today?
Just my department.
Just your department family? Okay, well, thank you for what you Don't go anywhere because you got another one coming, okay?
So you already knew, you knew about that? You knew about that incident?
And Officer Caleb Adams. And Officer Mike Snyder.
Good morning. Again, Mr. Chairman, board members, chief, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I'd like to direct your attention to the actions of Officer Schneider, Officer Rudolph, and Officer Adams in June of 2025. They were in radio cars in the Jennings precinct when they received a disturbance call in the 2000 block of McLaren. Upon arriving, they all arrived simultaneously. They were approaching the residence. They were met by a hysterical female who was exiting the residence, and she said that her dad and brother were fighting in the basement, and their dad was trying to shoot both of them. As they entered the residence, they announced that they were the police, and they could hear fighting from the basement. As they made their way to the stairwell, they heard gunshots ring out. They immediately, without hesitation, went downstairs, faced danger head on, and were able to take the dad into custody who had been firing shots at the son. So their quick actions and fearless behavior directly, in my opinion, kept the shooting from becoming a homicide or a serious physical injury shooting. Luckily, the dad didn't hit the son, but they also recovered 2 firearms, and the subsequent investigation led to warrants being issued on the dad for unlawful use of a weapon with a $100,000 cash only bond. So outstanding work and great bravery. Congratulations on your well-deserved chief's commendation.
Makes for a tough holiday.
Hey, yeah, we know we just got your police family here, okay? So here, let me give you this. All right. Caleb, you got anybody here with you today?
Got a lot of people here.
A lot of people here.
My wife, my son,
Please stand when he calls you.
my wife Tracy, my son Wesley, my parents Kim and Jesse, my grandparents Susan and Rob.
Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Mike, anybody with you?
Just my wonderful wife, Maggie.
Maggie, please stand. Next up, we have a life-saving award for Police Officer Joshua Hewitt. And Police Officer Lucas Keith. It's okay.
Skipping around.
Thank you. Sorry for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to present the awards for life saving for Officer Josh Hewitt and Officer Lucas Keith. March 20th, 2025, they received a call in North County Precinct for a suicidal subject. The male stated that he was going to kill himself. He gave that information to his pastor, so his pastor called dispatch. Dispatch sent Officer Lucas Keith and Officer Hewitt out to the address. So when Officer Keith got there first, he was first on the scene. He knocked on the door. There was no answer. He checked the other doors of the residence due to the exigent circumstances. He noticed that the back door was unlocked, so he made an entry. So when Officer Hewitt arrived on scene, they noticed the male was in the bathroom with the gun. He said, don't come in here. I want to shoot myself. So Officer Hewitt used his de-escalation techniques and everything that he's learned from crisis intervention. He was able to talk to the male, but the male did fire a round while he was in the bathroom. So once he fired that round, both officers rushed in, secured the firearm, and got him the help that he needed. So their actions speak to St. Louis County Police Department's mission to create safe neighborhoods. So they did a great job.
Great job.
Everybody's got torn rotator cuffs in this department.
You got the same injury you got, Chief.
Guys,
What is it with the rotator?
Right.
anybody here with you today?
Ooh, Department family.
Department family? Oh, yeah. Thank you for your hard work, man. Lucas? Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. All right, good, all right.
4 weeks, you're good.
Okay, good.
I got
Who's
my
here
wife,
with you?
Heather.
Heather, stand up, please. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's it as far as the awards are concerned. I had 3 promotions.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. First up, promoted to Sergeant, Aaron Timberly. Aaron's coming from DCI. How many years were you up there?
About 4.
4 years. Great. Aaron, have you been assigned yet?
Yeah, I'm in the Central County Precinct.
Central County? On midnights, I bet, too.
Yes.
Who's here with you today?
My husband, Jordan.
Jordan, where's he at? Stand up, Jordan. Jordan is also a member of the St. Louis County Police Department. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Sergeant Scott Stickman. Scott's coming from DCI also, right? Okay. Scott, who's here with you?
My wife Katie,
Please stand, Katie. Where is she?
my daughter Kelly,
Dordick.
my daughter Julie,
Julie.
my son John,
Son John.
and my in-laws William and Terry.
Great. Have you been assigned yet?
Yes, City of Jennings Precinct.
Midnights.
Yes, sir.
I see.
Being promoted to sergeant is Adrian Washington. You're coming from, Wildwood, right, great. Want to meet the board?
All right, congratulations.
Adrian, who's here with you? Anybody?
You're there with us.
Yes, actually, I see 2 folks waving. Oh, 3. I'm sorry. Got Pops Washington back there. Got my wife, and then my father-in-law, James Williams.
Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. You're going to Midnights too, right?
Yes, sir.
I figured that. Commissioner, that's all I have.
Great. Well, thank you, Chief. Before we make a rush for the door, Chief, why don't we take a moment and acknowledge the tragic loss of Officer Garrett Temple. We didn't do that at the beginning. We'll take a moment now, acknowledge that. Thank you. And we always give everybody a fair chance before we get into the nuts and bolts of our meeting. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to if you don't want to hear it. We got a great budget report that's going to be riveting. But if you want to leave, we'll give you a 2-minute head start.
It's hilarious to watch these guys try to get out of the chairs with their guns and tasers
Right,
and
right.
everything else on.
I had forgotten about that. They didn't put it on the agenda.
I was gonna say yes.
Adrian.
So are you still in Wildwood?
Not anymore.
Where you
Now,
at?
where are you going?
That's why I hate to lose him.
Second? Well, that's my precinct.
Where's that? Where is
Oh, sorry about that, sir.
Where's
You got him now?
Central. That's
Oh,
Central.
Central. Okay, because I live in Chesterfield, so I'm up, out that way.
Don't worry about that.
Oh,
man.
Wildwood Creek.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Not far.
But yeah, I mean, come through passing the hills, man. Make sure everything's all right, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, congratulations. So that,
For all you did. Appreciate it,
They
yeah.
do a great job out there.
Okay.
A little cartoon. That's all we got is cartoon.
But I didn't, see nobody else out there. Seems like that.
He used to be in communication. That's where I met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to see that video.
Yeah.
Set that up. They can put on thumb drive for us. Okay, let's get back on track, everyone, in respect of everybody's time. Chief, you know how to empty a room. I know. Okay. For the 5 people left, Chief, you want to go ahead with your report? Guys, if we could, in the back, if we could.
Sarah's pinch hitting for Terry today. Good luck.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
We'll address all questions
I
that
can
way.
go
Does that
sit back
work?
down.
No. You're great. Just
Right. Load management. That's what she's calling it, right? She's like, I'm going to arrest this one.
All right. I think you got updated spreadsheets. Was there anything that stuck out to you that you wanted to ask about? Not really? Okay. Okay. We're just in a continue to monitor pattern right now. We meet with our council liaison once a month. We look at our expenditures. Any sort of transfer is not going to be entertained until the third quarter. So we're just watching. What else did I have? Yeah, we're just watching.
have there been any additional guidance out of the county council on our budget or changes to it since I kind of passed the head nod on it's okay?
Right.
Any updates?
Not really. We had a request to roll over about $250,000 from 2025 to finish a project that is moving through council that I hope will be approved in a few weeks. We are talking about not really, yeah. Nothing new.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes.
I hate to be a stickler about this, but out-of-town travel, line item 522110.
Yes.
Once again, the percentage, I don't know if there's something wrong with the cell there.
Nope, nothing wrong with it. We have $1 budgeted and there's $2,000 spent right now. It's a temporary placeholder for reimbursable travel because of the rules that we have to follow. We have to use our general budget for anything reimbursable. So it will look wonky. We have spent, when you only budget $1, that is the correct percentage.
So, since you only spent $1.
We have $1 budgeted, but we've spent over $2,000.
Okay, and that's 212,700%.
Yes,
Okay.
you have to add 2 zeros
have
to
to do the
convert
whole
it to a
thing.
percentage.
All right. I'll run the math there. I mean, so how,
Come back to us.
so that's gonna always look wonky then, if that's
Yes.
the case. And is there any reason why it's set up that way? I mean,
County government.
our government at work, right? Okay.
Any other questions? Budget questions? Sir? Nothing?
Thank you.
That was easy.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yep.
Thanks, sir.
Captain?
Morning, board.
Morning.
And my first challenge, it's not displaying up there. Let me see here.
So the only
There we go.
There you go.
Just need to shake it a little bit. These will be the February stats. So this slide is specific to patrol. And I have 2 mics up here, not necessary. So for the month of February, patrol handled just over 25,000 assignments. To break that down, 13,042 of those were directed, and then almost 13,000 were self-initiated, 12,890. So as a result of that, we had 240 felony arrests, 72 guns were seized, and 284 misdemeanor arrests. That's fairly comparable to this time last year. and it's very comparable to January, plus or minus like 4 or 5 arrests, so it's pretty much the same. Of those numbers, there were 24 use of force incidents. Of those, pretty consistent month to month, 59% were low-level physical restraint. 13% involved use of taser. 13% equates to 3 instances of taser being used. 7% pepper spray, and then 5% were some sort of like a stun blow. So that breaks down our use of force numbers for February. There's nothing really else of note to discuss on that slide unless you have questions. All right. Let's see here. Crime data for the month of February. So as you can see, we're still seeing that downward trend. Of note, you'll see that aggravated assaults with a knife shows a fairly significant increase, 136% compared to this time last year. I will echo what I said last board meeting. Last year, this time, we had 11 incidents. Each one of those incidents had 1 victim. This year, that 26 equates to 19 incidents where we had a couple that had multiple victims. Looking at those a little closer, the 26, most of those are domestic related with some sort of relationship between the victim and the suspect. So you don't have a whole lot of stranger-related issues in that category. Homicide numbers were trending, and like I said, this is through February, so we've had 5 year-to-date compared to 6 this time last year. But fairly significant decreases, almost 50 fewer incidences in that category compared to this time last year. There's the infographic of our homicides. 4 homicides for the month of February, all involving firearm. Included within those is a 1 officer-involved shooting that occurred in Overland that we handled, and also a municipal homicide in the city of Northwoods. For the year to date, Crimes Against Persons has handled 10 homicides. 5 of those are for St. Louis County patrolled areas, and then 5 of those are municipal homicides we were asked to investigate for them.
Captain, if we have a homicide in a municipality and we don't get involved, do those numbers still show up here as a number but without our involvement?
No.
So the county could have 2 or 3 more than 10 because the overall county could have 2 or 3 more than 10, but because we weren't involved in it, it's limited to our involvement.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions on the infographic? Okay. Crimes against property. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but fairly significant decreases in crime that we're seeing. So we'll continue to monitor that. But certainly numbers are trending in a direction that we like to see. So I'd say almost 220 instances fewer this time last year than this time last year. You're seeing a lot of fewer motor vehicle thefts, or thefts from motor vehicle. I would attribute a lot of that to a better educated public of being a harder target. They're securing their valuables, paying attention to our social media information that we put out there as far as securing your valuables, and people are listening to that advice. So pretty significant, 77 fewer motor vehicle thefts compared to this time last year.
You're welcome to be a broken record anytime there is a minus in front of a number.
Yeah, I was looking at them like I can't think of anything else to say other than that it's going in a good direction. Let's see here. Crimes against society, also nothing a whole lot of note. We're still seeing a lot of negatives there. The positive, that 29.7% for drug and equipment violations, that's proactive police work. So that's not like there's an upward trend. We're just out there finding it. And then to stay with our behind the numbers trend, this month we have Mike White from our Highway Safety Unit. He'll be giving us insight on what the Highway Safety Unit does. And I'll turn the show over to him.
Good morning. I think I've had the pleasure of meeting most of you already. I'm Officer Mike White, St. Louis County Highway Safety Unit. I'll give you a little brief down of what we're doing, what our mission is, and how we accomplish that. So our primary objective of the Highway Safety Unit is to reduce the number of vehicle accidents resulting in injury or death, to achieve the voluntary compliance by the public regarding our traffic laws, both state and county. In order to do that, we are a grant-funded unit. We currently have 6 officers with 1 sergeant. We are slotted for 8, but obviously manpower is what it is. Four of those officers are part of our hazardous moving violations grant. Those guys, we rotate our schedule 2 weeks of days, 2 weeks of nights. We have two dedicated DWI guys that work straight afternoons. Their main goal is to go out there and find the drunk drivers. The other four of us, we kind of fluctuate what we do. When we're on afternoons, we do look for drunks, but our main goal is those hazardous moving violations. Four of our officers are drug recognition experts. Those are the tippity top of the DWI realm. Those guys have special training that I've equated to almost being a nurse. They come in after a DWI arrest is made, if the subject is compliant, and they do more tests and they can determine what category of drug a subject may be on, or maybe they're not on it. Our sergeant is a DWI, or he is a DRE instructor, so he is the tippity top of the DWI realm. He is also a standard field sobriety testing instructor, so safe to say we're pretty well endowed in the DWI field. Two of us in this unit are type 2 breath instrument operators. What that means is we maintain the breath instruments throughout St. Louis County, to include the portable ones that we have in our car, and we also teach officers how to use the breath instruments. Our department unit right now, here we go. So the grant allows us training. We attend the MOPS conference, which is the Missouri Officer of Prosecutor Services Conference. That's a 3-day course on DWI, DRE certifications. We attend a Law Enforcement Traffic Safety Conference, which is LETSAC. That's a week-long conference throughout the middle of the year dedicated to strictly traffic safety. And then our DRE officers go to a DRE National Convention, and that gives them the opportunity to maintain their continuing education hours they need in order to maintain that certification. We also are provided with a DWI, HMV, and extra seatbelt grants. So that allows us and officers actually throughout the department to take time in their off time to come in and help us assist in, curbing these traffic violations that we're seeing. Other things that our unit does, we do funeral details, we do dignitary details. We get called out to barricaded subject situations because someone in our unit is trained to be the recorder for those guys. We are part of the department cut team. Thankfully, we haven't had to use that, but if there's any kind of barricaded subject on a protest, we would be part of that unit that would get called out to that. All right. We do have one accident. I am the accident reconstructionist on this unit. I'm one of 5, I think, now in this police department. That's not part of the goal of this unit, but it's nice to have. All right, so these lovely slides were given to us by Allie. I didn't put these together. She's really good at what she does. So the left part there shows the accident by numbers starting from January of last year to January to February of this year. I think, the highest totals there being in May and October. The 608 was the lowest, and that's apparently due to the shortest month of the year. On the right, she breaks down the accidents by time frame and days of the week. The biggest notation here is the biggest number of accidents actually fluctuate around 3 o'clock. Obviously, that afternoon rush hour really hits us hard out here with people trying to get home. Fridays at 3 is the highest point. Obviously, everyone's excited to get to their weekend. So, any questions on that? Yes.
Mike, so you gave us the 1 year, thank you. Is that a normal trend line that you see over the course of the year with maybe twin peaks and a little bit less in the summertime and trending down through the winter?
I wish I could give you an answer on that, just speaking from experience of being out here on the roads. It's hard to tell. That summer months kind of fluctuating out like that because the driving's there's not much, the rush hour's not as bad. Yeah, vacations, kids aren't in schools. How it breaks down with it dipping like that towards from the end of the year till now, I honestly couldn't give you an answer on that.
Thank you.
I think it's great that it's only 6 of you guys that cover all the roads in St. Louis County.
Yeah. So we cover, I guess I can hit that a little bit. We cover all of the roads in St. Louis County. We don't just hit unincorporated. While a majority of us focus it on unincorporated, we try to avoid the areas like Chesterfield because those guys go out and they run traffic. Right. Hazelwood's pretty good about maintaining their own roadways. So we'll hit 270 through like those areas or 64 every once in a while, but we really do focus on just the unincorporated areas. But, you know, I'm not gonna look past somebody speeding by me in Hazelwood or Florissant. And, you know, we hit them pretty much hard everywhere.
What's the position on the expired tag thing that we see all the time? That's something you pull folks over for, or we're not doing that anymore?
We do. I'm a big proponent of talking to people. You know, so I try to instill that to the rest of the guys too. I like to listen to people's situations. Most of the time when we're focusing on those hazardous moving violations.
Sure.
20 overs and all that. But if I pull a car over for expired plates, you know, we talk to them. We try to figure out what's going on before we actually hit the tickets with that. Because most of these people, I'm writing them for 20 over.
Sure.
And I can give them a warning for that license plate.
I saw one from 22.
Yeah, well, that one,
week, and
that one deserves a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
These accidents are all just total accidents. Do you have a graph that distinguishes homicide, I mean, not homicides, fatalities?
I don't think we have a graph in here that distinguishes the fatalities on that. Being an accident reconstructionist, it's upticking. I know I've personally gone to 5 or 6 just in the last 2 months. Yeah, but we don't have a graph to provide that statistic right now. These 2 graphs show the accidents by major roadway. Honestly, she gave me a little notes here because that one confuses me. The map on the left shows how many accidents happened in February on minor roads with St. Louis County patrolled areas. The map on the right shows how many accidents happened in February on major highways. It's important to note that the accidents included are only from St. Louis County Police, not St. Louis County as a whole, which is why we see the least amount on highways that are not written in St. Louis County Police patrolled areas. For month to month, certain stretches of roads may change colors, which provides highway safety with a better understanding of where to patrol. For the most part, from my experience on the major highways, we try to have highway patrol handle those accidents, so that's probably not going to show up on our statistics. Yeah, any questions on that?
It's interesting, the traffic flows. I like 270 where it's yellow and then it turns green and then it turns red, depending on whether you're across 64 southbound or 44 southbound.
Well, I think everybody knows in the afternoon, it turns red every day at 3 o'clock. It's kind of a mess. All right, so this is a graph about DWI arrests. It peaks there in August of last year and kind of fluctuates. It does go down there from November to December, and it's starting to go back up again. The first chart on the right shows the precinct count, DWIs by precinct, with the first precinct is kind of leading the charge there with 162. That graph to the right of it shows how many were from accidents, calls for services, or just normal traffic stops. Then the graph down there at the bottom kind of breaks it down more as to why these people were contacted or reasons they were stopped before they were arrested for DWI. As we can see there, the biggest one is the accident. Second biggest one is speeding. That's kind of what we get most of ours on, are the speeding. We do get a few on no license plates. Yeah. Any question on those? All right, and these are the heat maps from our DWI arrests. On the left is the heat map for DWIs in February. On the right is all of 2025. Highway 55 between the 3 and 4 precincts is a routine hotspot for DWI arrest and is a focus for preventative patrols. When you look at the map on the right for all of 2025, you know, the light green areas around it, you'll see like Hazelwood, Florissant, and all that, and those are us just kind of driving through. We don't hit those areas quite as hard. There is 2 of us that really likes those areas at night. But for the most part, our officers are doing a great job of focusing on unincorporated St. Louis County. If you can see the heat map there, Jennings is a real hot area for us, that Jennings Station corridor, and down there to New Halls Ferry. That 55, I can contest to that, is because of the amount of people that go downtown and have a few drinks at bars or concerts or baseball games, and they like to flood through there. Being that unincorporated area, we hit that area pretty hard. We like to monitor when those things let out and focus on those areas to help stop some accidents.
And the one just southeast of Melville, is that Telegraph? What's that hotspot?
Yes, that's telegraphed down there. There's a lot of bars down there. We do have a pretty bad issue down there. Our two prior, well, one of them got promoted, but they were hitting that area pretty hard. And it got to the point where the bars knew, and that kind of helped us with the preventative patrol. We kind of made an impact down there, and that dropped off a little bit, because normally that, in my opinion, that would be red, because it's pretty bad down there. Any other questions?
No.
All right.
Good information. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's good.
Morning.
Morning.
Go over our February stats for human resources. For our resignations for commission staff, February of this year versus February of last year, our resignations were up by 1, 3 to 2. Our retirements were down 2 to 5. And then in pro staff, we were even across the board. We had 3, and last year we had 3 resignations and no retirements last February, and 0 for this February as well. For the commissioned police officers, we had the 3 resignations and 2 retirements in February. And then pro staff, we had 3 resignations and no retirements. Our recruit classes, and I know Captain Rose is going to present as well, so I'm not going to get into the weeds with recruit classes. But we did have 213 start on the 5th of January. We have another one going in June. And then next month, I'll do a little more discussion on dispatch academies, just because we're doing a little restructuring with these dispatch classes and those applicants and the people that we've hired. So I'll probably cover that a little bit more in detail next month. We've got some things that we were just discussing today that we're working on and kind of developing. A couple things for everybody, especially when it comes to security, which obviously the wheels turn slower, but security was one of our concerns a couple months ago, and I wanted to report about that just with some good news in regards to that. We need 10 more security officers to bring us up to fully staffed in security services. And just to let everybody know the numbers, I say 3 in backgrounds and 2 completing polygraphs, so call it 5 in backgrounds total, 2 are in polygraphs, and then this week we have 5 doing sit-alongs. So the 10 positions that we need to fill those 10 voids, we have near completion. And then on top of that, we have about 17 in testing, so we have a little bit of an overage for security services as well. So we should get that fully staffed. Our pro staff positions across the board on the police department, we have a couple here and there for some maintenance hires, but generally speaking, we're fully staffed there. So our big concerns are public safety dispatchers and police officers. So that's the focus. For 2026, we've hired 27 new employees, and that consists of 10 commissioned police officers. 7 of those are experienced police officers, and 3 are already spoken for the recruit class in June. And then 17 pro staff. And Commissioner, you had asked me last month just for some breakdown of the experienced police officers that we're hiring, and those 7, we had 2 that had 4 years of experience, 1 that had 6, 1 that had 9, 1 that was at 11. We had 16, and then 24 years of service. The 7 of them since January 1 have been able to give us immediate impact in staffing numbers, which need improvement, but they can get out and get up and running quickly, unlike a recruit that's coming out of the academy that needs, a complete 5-phase training process and that as well. So that's the police officers are definitely a focus. We have a lot of experienced police officers that have applied and are in the process. So we're hopeful that we can get some more on board as well. And then we'll get the June recruit class up and running, and that should help us out. Our class that is in currently will graduate, and hopefully we'll get that other 15 staffed up on the street as well. So that's my presentation. Do I have any questions? Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Crew, you're going well.
There you are, Captain.
Morning.
Morning, Captain.
For the Academy today, I'd like to give a brief update from last year, back in December. So if you remember, in December, there's two basic sections that we have, basic training and continuing education. So 2025 basic training stats, we had 2 classes, 80 recruits, 39 with us, and then 41. 66 graduated, recruits graduated. 38 St. Louis County police graduates last year, 38. So basic training, this current class is class 213. They started in January. Everyone's doing pretty well. 15 St. Louis County recruits, 17 municipal, and 2 open enrollment. We've lost 3 municipal. So next class, class 214, Lieutenant Higginbotham was just discussing that. It starts in June, and we hope for 25 recruits. We have 1 pre-recruit in the program right now. We've recently taken over the pre-recruit program. Before it was with HR, and now it's with us. So I think it's a good move. They did a good job, but I think it's going to be great with us. We're going to try to train them up before the academy. 2025 continuing education stats. We had 190 courses serving 2,519 individuals. County police in-service classes, we had 59 classes conducted, 1,446 St. Louis County police, professional staff employees, and security officers. And we had, our big training last year was a 3-day range for the new pistols that we have. And then V Academy, we trained 804 officers. That's the computer at V Academy. 2026, continuing education. Our big training this year, we MACTAC. We have 56 classes slotted, 1,083 officers, and class 213 is attending. They already actually attended. And then the current course registration is 1,300 individuals registered for classes, and we're ahead of where we were for 2025. New existing partners, we have a total of 60 tuition-based members of the Academy, 1,851 commissioned officers, 324 dispatchers, and 149 security officers. New partners, we have Boone Terrace Police Department, Jefferson County, St. Charles County, Wentzville, Lake St. Louis. They came on board last year, and we're in discussions with other departments.
Captain, before you go, what's that mean? They came on board?
With continuing education. For the academy, they joined our academy. Strengths and weaknesses, of course, we don't have any weaknesses. Experienced, knowledgeable staff is our strength, and each instructor has roughly 26 years of experience. We have a lot of experience. Actual weaknesses that we have is administratively, we probably do a better job. We want to update our, basically our scheduling program, so we don't have to do that manually. We've been doing that manually for years, so maybe bring it online like AI and getting some programs for that.
So, you will?
We're looking into those programs now.
Your intent is to?
Instead of doing manually, when somebody needs to register for the academy, currently they're basically calling us, and then we manually enter those individual officers for classes.
Great. To clarify, my question wasn't you're hoping to, your question is you're planning to.
We're planning to. We're looking at programs now, so.
Thank you.
That's all I have, unless you have questions.
Questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Captain.
Thanks, sir.
Captain May.
Morning, Captain.
Morning.
Who's running after if you're here?
I got trained officers down there and
Good answer.
supervisors
Good
running that
answer.
down there. Good morning. I'm Captain Guy Means. I'm the commander of the Afton Southwest Precinct. I'm going to go over a brief overview of our precinct, and talk about some pictures of our buildings, describe some locations and beat coverage, go over staffing, talk about a few of our municipal contracts, and touch base on some crime statistics, and also discuss some community engagements with our great organizations and partnership in the Afton Southwest Precinct. And then I'll go over relay some goals of our 2026 goals of hotspot policing and our hospital threat assessment that we're going to do. Let's see. Did I not hit it? Oops. Let me go back. Went too far. So as you see there, that is we've been in our, let's do this first. We completed 2 years of being in our facility on Sunday, so we've been there 2 years. So with that, we had a successful ribbon cutting honoring Blake's honor, and we actually had a lot of people there, retired business leaders, regional politicians, Blake's family, and a lot of retired and police officer and retired people as well. So moving on, as you look at, you can see our building. We have an open concept there. As you can see, that is the foyer there. And the second picture is our break room and our roll call area. Then you see our gym area there, which was donated by the Bush family. They donated $50,000 to actually equip that. So we're happy that they did that for us, and we're real happy. And it's being used quite frequently by everybody, and even other units and other precincts as well. Moving on. Looking at our beat mapping, as you can see, when we're fully staffed, we have 7 unincorporated beats. And then we have 3 contracted patrols: Village of Marlboro, City of Green Park, town of Grantwood Village, and we border with St. Louis City, Webster Groves, Crestwood, Sunset Hills, and Jefferson County. And as you see that border line there to your right, that's 55 Highway. We handle the south side there, and the 4th Precinct handles the north side. What is it doing? I'm hitting it. Jesus, would be me.
Try for Vera. Here she comes.
Okay, I got it. So as you can see, we have 65 commission officers, including supervisors assigned to our precinct. We're short 4 currently. However, the addition of the mobile precinct, the SRU, they help us a lot in assisting us in when we're short for calls for service. So we're doing really well with that. As you can see, we have 8 sergeants, 3 lieutenants, 2 MPOs, and 1 precinct detective. Just to go over a quick organizational chart, so you can see my supervisors. We're 2 separate platoons. We have 4 squads, respectively, on each platoon. And then we have an executive officer who handles the municipal contract officers, school resource officers, neighborhood policing officers, and the precinct detectives. There are our school contract, municipal contracts. You can see there we have 4: City of Green Park, Town of Grantwood Village, Village of Marlboro, and the Village of Wilbur Park. And then we contract with 4 different school districts: Afton, Lindbergh, Bayless, and Mayville. I'll go a quick overview of some crime statistics. Here is the most up-to-date crime statistics for our precinct, crimes against person, and how it compares to last year. As you can see, last year at this time, year-to-date, we had 108. This year at this time of 2026, year-to-date, we have 74. So doing good, we're down 31.5%. Main issue are assaults, school fights, and domestic disturbances. Same here. is our crimes against property. As you can see, year-to-date 2025, we had 221. Year-to-date, right now, 2026, we have 192, which still shows a decrease of 13.1%. Again, there, our biggest issues are theft from motor vehicles and shoplifting. Also, crimes against society were down as well. Year-to-date 2025, we had 14. Year-to-date this year, we're at 12, minus 14.3%. We're doing pretty good there. Here's a heat map. If you look at the heat map there, I went back to 2023 to show a comparison. In 2023, we had 85 burglaries, and then in 2024, we had 94. That dot that you see in the corner there, that's the main corridor of right there at Gravois and River de Pere. That's right before you get to St. Louis City. We did more proactive patrols there, hotspot policing there, and we did more just being in that area from different times, and we used data and all of that to kind of see what times the burglaries were occurring. So the reason that I feel that they're down so much is basically people are working from home now. So people are really home a lot more now than they were back in 2023, and they started to decrease a little bit more in 2024. Motor vehicle thefts, as Cap Bland talked about, you saw a significant decrease in that. So in 2023, we had 305. And 2024, we went down to 177. And in 2025, we're at 153. And the big increase in 2023, you know, we had those Honda and Kia thefts. So they were primarily the main goal for our precinct because we had a lot of apartment complexes that have those vehicles in there. So they were stealing those, breaking into the actual ignition switch and putting a USB cable switch in there, and they were able to start those vehicles and take off there. One good thing that we did for that in the precinct, we were able to give out steering wheel locks for residents that lived in the area of Afton. So all you had to do was come, show your ID and your proof of insurance, and with that, we would give you a steering wheel lock for your vehicle. So.
Captain, before you turn on the 2025, there's a hot spot right dead in the middle. Looks like it's on maybe Lindbergh, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's there that caused that to accelerate?
That was basically, we have a lot of businesses up there, and probably looking at that, that was probably our dealerships. We're having some issues with the dealerships of them leaving their keys in the vehicle overnight, not checking to make sure that every car was locked and locked up and the keys were not taken out of the ignition. So we had a few dealerships there that left the keys in overnight. So that's why that shows a little bit of an increase right there.
I had a question. I saw it's great the decrease in car thefts, but it looks like the number of thefts from cars hasn't decreased that much.
Right, and that's basically because people were leaving their vehicles unlocked, sometimes really unattended, but a lot of people were leaving their cars unlocked. That's why it was increasing that area.
Okay, but you're doing some things to address that.
Yeah, proactive patrols, we're doing that. We're hotspotting those areas where we actually have high crime areas of just theft from the motor vehicle. So just proactive policing in those areas.
Good deal.
So how to combat these crimes in 2026, I talked about it. We're going to do hotspot policing. We're going to review crime data. Business patrols, more of those for up on that Lindbergh corridor where we were having some of the issues with cars being taken. And the proactiveness, we're going to talk to people. Like we're probably going to do more traffic stops in those areas, and then we're going to actually get just do more proactive in that area, because when you look at the Lindbergh area, there's a lot of traffic going back and forth there, and sometimes traffic stops will lead into some arrests and stop some of the crime that's going on. We'll also do open garage doors. So pretty much with the open garage doors, we had those in the past. With open garage doors, we're going to just make sure we're in the neighborhoods at night, making sure that the garage doors are down, and if they're up, the officer's going to leave a card stating that we were doing proactive patrols in your area, and we found that your garage door was open, and we'll leave a card saying that we were in the area. And if they want to call, they can call. If not, then we're just showing that we're in the area doing proactive patrols there. As you can see, when we talk about community engagement, there's me and Colonel there. We get out, that was the Afton Day Parade. We talked to a lot of business people that were there, also citizens that were there. Talked to the kids, gave out candy, and did a lot of those community engagement efforts. As there, you can see that's our community organizations. Those are the organizations that we frequent each month. We hold meetings and we talk about, we update them on crime statistics, whatever questions they have. We also talk about the awards that the officers get periodically on great jobs that they do.
Is there a lot of usage of in the precinct of that community room that you have there?
Yes, we use that. That's twice a week.
Okay. Who's
Maybe
using it?
3 times a week. We'll be
Who's using
using
it?
that today about 1 o'clock. We have a group coming in.
Business groups
utilizing
are
it.
using it?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So awards and recognition, as you can see, for the Medal of Valor and As Is Awards, Officer Johnson and Officer Infante received that in 2024. Kent Heileman, he was the CPAAA 2025 Officer of the Year, and Sean Polly was just recognized last month for the Officer of the Year 2025 for the Afton Lee May Chamber of Commerce. So I talked about threat assessments. Last year we did the school threat assessment. This year it'll be the hospital threat assessment. In 2025, hospital and the Highland Center had numerous assaults and threats against their staff. We're going to provide a partnership with the hospital and the staff and their facility. I'm going to talk to Lieutenant McGuire. We're going to use CIT. A little bit of intervention in that case right there. We'll just talk to some of the hospital staffs and what's occurring the most. In 2026, we'll be completing an assessment with the hospital and the Highland Center. This is a great way to update contact information, emergency response policies, and schematics in each of these facilities in the precinct. So with that, this assessment should strengthen our relationship with the hospital staff and the facility. Must have went off that. So just to kind of complete this, our completed goals in 2025, we completed the school threat assessment with all our school systems and all our high schools and middle schools, so that went well. They're looking for us to do it not this next year, but the year after that, we'll touch base again and see if things need to be addressed or anything in that. We completed walk and talks for the businesses and the residents. That was completed, that went well, and as you can see, we lowered crime by continuing to develop and maintain great relationships and great public and great relationships with the general public and local organizations. So everything in 2025 that we set out to do was completed successfully. And that's all I have, if you have any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Well
All
done,
right.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all you have, Chief? Okay. Next on our agenda is approval of our minutes. This is the February 17th, 2026 minutes, which hopefully everyone's had a chance to review. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I so move.
I'll second.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, great, thank you. Diane, I look to you for communications. Incoming, outgoing, okay. Any old business that we need to address? Right, under new business, we have quite a few PSA, professional service agreements. They go from A through P. Is there a motion that we accept the professional service agreements A through P as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Next item, Chief, we have a general order, a recommendation to approve a general order. Someone talk to us about that?
Morning again.
Good morning, long time no see.
I'll start off by saying this use of force policy has been, works for quite some time, to the point to where I think I was a sergeant at the academy in 2017 providing input on the initial draft. When we picked this back up last year, I think we were at draft 31 and ended at draft 38. So I gave this to the board a couple weeks ago well in advance, anticipating some questions. I'll start off by saying that our current policy from 2010 has been a very sound policy for us. It's been legally defensible. A lot of relevant case law regarding use of force like Graham versus Connor, whatnot, while alluded to in that policy, is not as up front and center in this revision. So what I would say is our current policy is certainly just a modernization and builds upon the foundation of our current policy. So a lot has happened, of course, in society since 2010, of note 2014 and whatnot. So over the years, past commanders of my unit, including myself, will solicit input from, of course, the community on what they're looking for in a police use of force policy, along with making sure that, training standards that are taking place at the academy, mirror what's in our use of force policy. So when this is pushed out, hopefully, I would say that there's not going to be any surprises for our officers as much as it is. This gives clear, explicit guidance. It builds upon what's currently in our policy. Certainly on de-escalation, expanded definitions. There's just as much guidance on using force as much as there's a guidance on avoiding having to use force, which is an important thing to have in our policy. So of course, this has been through the county counselor's office and this has been vetted back and forth for quite some time. So I can go through certain sections, or if you have any questions, I can just answer what you might have. But I think the staff in my office are very proud of this product and where we're at with this draft that's been presented to you.
Questions?
I've got a couple.
Please.
So I think you hit the highlights of it, but I'll maybe ask for a different view of the highlights. So when you look at all the emboldened language, there's a lot of it, which comes back to the major rewrite, but what's the overall intent of what you're trying to do? Update, got that, but behind the scenes, to an officer, what's this really doing to impact the officer?
I would say to start off with, we don't really see any issues with our uses of force on the street right now. So looking at this draft, there's some terminology in previous drafts that were some of the hangups, if you will, over the last couple of years and almost the last decade. So whenever we picked this back up last year, I contacted Captain Price. We had several meetings with BPS about what they're seeing in the field, and really just overall clear guidance. So if you look at our current policy of 2010, I think the word de-escalation is used in there one time. So to give you some context, over the years, the media, the community, that is, I won't call it a buzzword, but de-escalation, verbal judo, whatnot, those are things that we've been training on since I've been a policeman for almost 25 years now. And that is just a little bit more upfront and center in our policy. So I guess just clear guidance or to give officers context, things they should be considering prior to using force. Time, distance to cover, de-escalation when tactically appropriate, and then just making sure that our officers, and of course the public, this is a public document that'll be available, everybody knows what the rules are.
Second question is, since there is some change in behaviors in here, or at least some change of expectations, do we need to train to it, or is it just an inform the officers that these are the expectations?
That's a good question. So I'd say from the ground up, from talking to the academy, going back to last year, that's something that's been discussed in the use of force policy. While we train on use of force annually, this will be a part of, I believe, in-service training with our officers.
All right, and then the last question I have is you talked about defensibility. This is viewed by both us and the county counselor's office that this is equally defensible or maybe even more defensible.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So words like, I'm providing a different view of what makes sense, right? So not a police officer. Words like practical, whenever practical, and objectively reasonable. We believe those are defensible terms if one of our officers does the right thing and is practical with his or her judgment or objectively believes something reasonable needed to happen. We believe those are defensible. Protecting our officers in addition to protecting the citizen.
That is a great question. So I'd say objective reasonableness is the use of force standard prevalent in the Graham versus Connor decision. So almost 40 years later, uses of force that occurred yesterday, when it comes to lawsuits and whatnot, the courts still refer to that. That is a prevailing case law across the country. So certain districts like California or whatnot, that's all the way across the country, but they have a reasonably necessary standard. That's what's more of a narrower focused when it comes to reviewing use of force. However, our policy, the objective reasonableness, that is straight from case law. And that's trained on from the academy as a recruit. So, is a reasonable officer, if they were in that same predicament, is it reasonable if they would have done likely the same thing? So it's not a reasonable person standard, it's a reasonable officer standard, and that is directly where that's coming from.
Thank you.
Yep.
When we're using officers in task forces and those sorts of, opportunities where they may be working with the feds or other jurisdictions, do we continue to use our use of force policy, or do we?
St. Louis County officers should be adhering to our use of force policy.
And then how about others that are working with us?
Like the Fed.
They keep their own?
I'll tell you that any task force, like any federal government officials, we are not going to be able to force them to adhere to our use of force policy. So is this going to be submitted to, let's say, an FBI, DEA agent associated with our officers going on a task force detail? No. Our officers only will be acknowledging this and will be accountable to it.
Good question. That's a good question. Good question.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the right way to ask. So the reasonableness, the objectivity of it all it's obviously going to vary from officer to officer. For example, and I was just looking through like a lot of the training that you guys have, which you have extensive training, in addition to your academy training. Like you got some jujitsu classes and things like that. So obviously, what's reasonable to one officer may be more challenging to another. I mean, based on size, based on gender, based on strength. So one person may be able to subdue a perpetrator easier than another. How do you? I mean, I guess when you have partners, that can be help. I mean, you're there to help each other out, but one person's use of force may be very different than another's.
So I'll refer to the policy. It's at 15 pages, but we do touch on that very thing. So when you look at variabilities and an officer's at reasonableness standard based on a variety of factors, how small is the officer compared to the stature of the suspect they're dealing with, vice versa.
Right.
How many officers are on scene? How many officers might be dealing with multiple suspects? What's the weather like? How is it cold outside? All
that's all
the
spelled
severity
out.
of the crime, all that stuff. That's all spelled out in the policy, and even the Graham versus Connor prongs to touch on that even more. The severity of the crime, the level of resistance, and the threat to the public if apprehension is delayed. There is variabilities within even those three prongs, and that's very hard to capture all that in a 15-page policy. But those are all the things the courts take into consideration when evaluating an officer's use of force. So the predominant one is that severity of the crime. So did they just commit a murder or something very violent? We're on a scale of 1 to 10, they're clearly at a 10. And we need to make sure we apprehend that person. So the level of force I'm able to use to take that person into custody is going to vary if they're somebody that's wanted for a shoplifting. So there's a lot of variability within those three prongs. But the prevailing factor is after that use of force is concluded, the courts don't use hindsight. Just like administratively, we don't use hindsight to say they could have done this, they should have done this, because now we know that this occurred. This courts will look at that moment in time. What did that officer likely know? And was it reasonable?
The coordination with outside officers, that's also a tricky one. We had some discussions a while back. We know about the ICE agencies coming in, and we've seen the way they've handled situations, which obviously would be very different than the way we would handle situations. But I do know that recently we've had a few deportations, if you will, in St. Louis County. And this is probably more of a kudos to you all, because they came in and they removed the people and nobody heard about it. The citizens, the public didn't hear about it. There were a couple of really high-end restaurants. I'm not going to name them, but an ICE agent showed up and they didn't go in and get all crazy. They actually had the person come out and they took them away. And I thought that there must have been some communication with the county or someone for them to be that way, because if it's handled like that all over the country, we wouldn't see the stuff that we've been seeing on the news. But St. Louis County, for whatever reason, they're coming in and being a lot more reasonable with their extractions.
I think we've had 3
Okay.
deportation acts, 2 with the courts, and one just, I think it was last week, they came in to get their license for something. Their information was run through and it showed that they were wanted by ICE. And we got wind of that. Colonel Mann, our security officer, handled that. They let this person sit there, waiting to be called to be serviced. Meantime, they called ICE. ICE showed up in an unmarked vehicle. 2 officers got out, not dressed in Army gear, walked in there, talked to her. It was all peaceful. That's the same way it was at the 2 courts.
Very good. I've heard of several incidents, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool that it didn't rise to become a major issue here in our community. Good job.
Any other question on the general order? No.
It's nice to see it updated, to your point.
Yes, sir. Me too. I'm
Yeah,
glad to
16
see it
years
also.
time.
All right, thank you.
Do we need to vote on approval of it? I mean, yeah, okay. Do we want, let's take a vote that we approve General Order 26-029, use of force, presented to us with the updates.
Oh, yeah.
I'll motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. I don't see anyone, Diane, so I'm assuming there's nothing for public forum.
Another good sign, Chief.
Item 15 is a motion to hold a closed meeting. The Board of Police Commissioners may vote to go into closed meeting for legal advice and review of claims and lawsuits involving the police department and for confidential and privileged communications with counsel, Section 610.0211 RSMO and Section 114.020.11 SLCRO, and to discuss personnel matters closed under Section 610.0213 and Section 114.020.13 SLCO. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Diane, would you get a roll call for us?
Commissioner Ashworth?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Yes.
Thank you. We are in closed session. We don't need anybody else. We are back in open session. There were a couple of votes taken. One was to return to open session. There was also a citizen appeal vote which was taken during closed session. And we have one other matter we discussed on family leave, and we're prepared to move on now.
Very good, thank you. I will make a motion to the Board of Police Commissioners that the St. Louis County Police Department retain the 6-month employment eligibility requirement for eligibility for parental and family leave.
Second.
So, okay.
Perfect.
Move second.
It's been moved.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? I don't know if we had to do oil or not.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
I don't think so. All right, and we decided our next meeting will be Wednesday, April the 8th, 2026. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Commissioner Ashworth?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wild?
Yes.
Yeah, I hesitated, but we are adjourned.
Adjourned.